The Last of Us finally came out. Let's talk about it right now. Hey ladies and gentlemen, thank you for stopping by. Let's discuss The Last of Us on HBO. This show was awesome. It's almost identical to the video game. And before we keep going further, I want to mention that there will be spoilers in this video. So make sure you watch the show before you watch my video so you don't get anything spoiled for you, anything in the story or anything like that. Now, as I mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, the show is identical to the video game. It brought back so many memories. I was like, wow, am I playing the game or am I watching a show on TV? It was that crazy, so awesome. I was so happy to see it. Again, there will be spoilers here, so make sure you watch the show. Let's get started with that. The first difference in the show, they give us some information regarding viruses and also fungus or fungi, however you want to say it. So they talk about that in the show, and we don't get that in the video game, right? I don't remember them explaining what a fungus was and how a fungus takes control of the host, and then it makes the host do all these different crazy things, and the host doesn't die. You know, the fungus doesn't kill it right away because it's still feeding off of it. It doesn't want it to die, but it still has stuff to do, and eventually it will, you know, the host will die, but they explained that in the show, and it was so awesome the way they did it. There was like this kind of talk show happening, and the person was interviewing one of the guests is a doctor. I forgot who the other gentleman was, but there was a doctor in there. And basically, he's asking the guy a bunch of questions. It was like, you know, comedic. It was kind of funny. And then towards the end, the doctor's like, hey guys, you know, have you guys thought about a fungus? You know, viruses, we can find different vaccines and stuff like that for viruses, but for a fungus, there's nothing that can help society. Nothing. And if there's a fungus outbreak, society is doomed. You know, all the billion people in the world will die because fungus is, there's no way to fix it. There's no way to cure people from a fungus. You know what I'm saying? So everybody was super silent and quiet and in shock. And the guy interviewing, and the guy was like, that's kind of insane. So everybody was really scared at that moment. That was like years before The Last of Us took place. That was like maybe like 30 to 40 years before. So that was pretty crazy to see that information there. And then it was foreshadowing for what was going to happen in the story of The Last of Us. So then the show starts, and then we know that it's Joel's birthday, and Sarah's trying to find a gift for him. She gets that watch that she has in the drawer. She gets that. She tries to get it fixed by going downtown, and then we notice a few things in the background before then. Before then, we see Sarah in school, right? And in school, we notice some kid is kind of twitching, or his hand like a little bit in the background, and we also hear some coughing in the background, right? So that's all they show there. Then they move on to her going to the repair shop, to the watch repair shop, and she's over there trying to get the watch fixed for her dad. And we have another foreshadowing. We have a lot of cops and stuff, you know, in the background. And then the lady there in the shop comes out of the back. She's like, hey guys, shop is closed, get out of here. So the guy fixes the watch. Sarah takes the watch and goes home. She goes home, and then we know that Joel is working late, right? So Sarah goes to her neighbor's house. At the neighbor's house, we get some interaction in there between Sarah and the neighbors, and we also see a really creepy old lady. And then Joel comes home. He has some conversations there with Sarah, and she falls asleep, and Tommy calls him, and he leaves her there. He's trying to go help out Tommy. She wakes up later on in her bed, and she's like, hey, where's Dad? So she's looking around the house for her dad. She goes over to the neighbor's house. Dog is outside, and he's all freaked out, and she's trying to get the dog back to the house. He's like, hey, go back to your house. So she's taking him there. He's like, no, he doesn't want to go. Anyways, Sarah walks into the house, and she sees the man of the house. I don't even know his name. And he's like all bloody or whatever. And then you see what's going on there. To the side, we see the old lady chewing on, you know, she's going to town on the other lady of the house. And I'm like, oh God, it was so creepy. And she looks up or whatever. And then Sarah's like, oh snap, right? So she gets out of the house. Joe comes, saves the day, and then they leave. And this is where it looks almost just like the game, the conversation in the car, the different shots, you know, going down the road and seeing that farmhouse on fire. Then they leave, they go downtown or closer down to the town, and they find basically some chaos. You know, they're trying to get like back alleys and back roads, but there's chaos everywhere. People are going nuts. And this is another difference here between the show and the video game, right? So in the video game, we have them crash into another car. Another car comes out of nowhere and crashes onto them.
See that? Yes, I saw it. God damn. Turn here, turn here. Come on, people, move.
What are they running from?
Get us out of here. I'm trying.
Oh no.
We can't stop here, Tommy. I can't drive through them, Joe. Back up there. They're behind me, too. There. Hold on. Go.
Here in the show, they're just, driving down, and then there's an airplane in the background that comes, falls, and it crashes onto the ground. There's a big fireball, and debris falling everywhere, and it hits the car, and that causes the accident. And then we go down to the end of that scene right there where Sarah, unfortunately, passes away, and it was very sad still. I was trying not to let that affect me, but it did. Just like the video game, I was like, oh no, come on, not again. It was so crazy. And these actors and actresses, they're so good. They're so good. I'm like, man, it was so genuine. I was like, whatever. So they keep going on, and the story starts, and it's just identical to the video game. It's so awesome. We meet Ellie. She has a little fiery, attitude, and it's so cool. We have Marlene. We meet Tess 20 years later, and it's just like the story begins, And then, of course, we got, if you play the game, we know that we have Ellie, and our job is to take Ellie and take her across the United States so that we can find a cure for this fungus, this virus, and everything is in her hands. She's the key to all of this. So that was awesome, ladies and gentlemen. I was so excited for this show. It was so good. Identical like the video game. Guys, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about the Last of Us HBO show. So good, so good. I cannot wait for episode 2 on Sunday. Let me know if you guys are going to watch it. Again, I forgot to mention this, but right here on Rotten Tomatoes, as of today, at the time of this video, we have The Last of Us average tomato meter 99%, and the average viewer or audience meter score is 96%. So that is amazing. The best video game adaptation ever. This was amazing. I cannot wait to watch the rest of the show. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys are excited, what you guys thought of the show, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.